We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS That Foreign Show. That Foreign Show. We'll be seeing.
ADR Networks presenta.
This is Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch.
And this is...
That Foreign Show!
On that foreign show.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to That Foreign Show, TFS, here on the ADR Networks. Yeah. Activating your senses. Now we have a special show for you guys here today. As you can tell, Celestine Angel is not here with us today. She is actually at a shooting. She's acting in a series, and so she's gone for that. Too bad. I wish she was here to join us today because we have a nice show. And I want to tell you a bit about the show, right? So we have a couple of guests coming on in a while. These two are musicians, special musicians that we met. We have Tatiana Ferrer and Dayramir, all right, Gonzalez. Now, these two are a couple, and we're going to be talking to them about raising your family in a foreign country. What it's like as a musician coming to Mexico and doing your music stuff, raising a family on top of that, you know, how to navigate those stuff and how they keep the music alive. Now, these are things that we want to know. I want to know. I'm sure you guys want to know as well. We're gonna be diving in on with them in a while. Before we get to that, as you all know, we've always been talking about hotspots, right? We've always been saying hotspots as a segment where we introduce to you things that we think are hot, right? But right now, what we've done is we've changed the name of that segment, right? It's called Insider. All right, from here on out, you are privy to inside information that we, TFS, is going to bring to you, the viewers. Let's get a round of applause for that. No, I think that deserves a round of applause. And yeah. Yes. What are we clapping for? What are we clapping for? We're clapping for the information that we're going to bring you. All right? Inside information. So you become an insider. Like us here on the show. Now, don't be shy, just comment and tell us what you think about the name. You think it's whack? You think it doesn't do justice to what we're doing here? Or you like the name? You don't like the logo or something? Let us know. Let us know. All right, let us know. Insider is the name of the segment, as you can see. That logo is designed by Celestine Angel, who, like I said, isn't here with us. All right, now let's do this. As we said, ADR networks activating your senses, right? So since we're talking about senses, and being that I'm from Singapore, I'm going to talk about food, all right? Food. Say you are in a country or in a place, you're in Mexico City or wherever you're at, and you're looking for some food, right? Of course, a lot of options. But say you want some Chinese food, right? Some Chinese, authentic Chinese food. Where do you go for that? Where do you go for that? Being in Mexico City in CDMX, one thing that I think a lot of the people here know about is Barrio Chino. They call it. It's a street. It's a street called Chinatown, right? So if you could get into a cab, you tell the guy, voy por Barrio Chino. All right. In Barrio Chino, it's actually a street in the center that has all kinds of Chinese stuff, right? Chinese stuff. I don't know if that sounds racist. Chinese stuff. Okay, Chinese people. No, actually, it's not Chinese people. It's all kinds of people selling Chinese food and products. All right. So you have shops there. You can go there and you can get your joystick or your Chinese decoration stuff, your lanterns and things like that, you know. But it's also food. There are restaurants there. And then one particular restaurant that is our insider, that's on our insider list today that I want to tell you guys about is this joint called Hong King. All right, they are Hong King MX on Instagram. Thank you very much, Edwin. As you can see, look at those pictures right there. Look at those pictures right there. No. Now see, here at ADR Networks, when we talk about food, we got to bring it. Because we have people who know what they're talking about here on this network. One of our guests, even our producer, Jun, I tried some mochi that he made on his show. You know, it's like a Japanese candy thing. And that was like, as they say, chulada. You know, it's just nice. So the people here know what food is about. So if I'm recommending this place, go check it out. All right, Hong King MX on Instagram. Where is it? Where is Hong King? It's in Barrio Chino. Where is Barrio Chino? It's in the center of the city. All right. It's you won't be able to miss it. If you go down there, lots of stuff to do. Starbucks. There's all kinds of places and things that you can entertain yourself with. My guests are here. My guests are here. All right. So, like I said, Hong King. Now let me just drop this on you guys. Right. You like Chinese food? You're enjoying yourself. You want some authentic Chinese food? Hong King is the place to be. Now, when you get there, this is what you got to do, right? This is the insider information. Let me get up close. Edwin, hook me up. This is what you need to do. Okay. When you get to Honking restaurant, then you sit down at your table and you order your food. Ask for the Chinese menu. Okay, the Chinese menu. It's a different menu. It's separate. It's not the usual one that people get over there. What happens when you get the Chinese menu? Everything's in Chinese, so you don't know what you're talking about, firstly. But once you figure that out, you can even write it in English. The Chinese chef prepares it especially for you. All right? So I'm not sure why they've done this in this way, but I think it's to keep that authentic spirit alive, and you can actually get a sense of that spirit when you head down to Honking restaurant. All right, we're going to take a break right now because my beautiful guests are here, and we're going to continue the show and talk to them about some of the things that I talked about. Raising a family in a foreign country with these two beautiful musicians that you're going to meet in a second. Join us. Stay here on TFS. We'll be right back.
We are going to a break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
On the foreign show.
Hola, yo soy Liz Maguer y te invito a ver Todo a Color los miércoles a la 1 de la tarde, un programa de salud, belleza, transformación y muchos otros temas por ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy Carlos.
Yo soy Ryan.
Y nosotros somos los Chulos Calderón. No te puedes perder el mejor programa de ADR que es
¿Qué Chulo Show?
Todos los martes de 9 a 10 de la noche, totalmente en vivo.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Te saluda Alberto Lascano
Y Sofía da Costa.
y te invitamos a que nos acompañes a platicar sobre las películas más importantes del mundo del cine.
Todos los sábados a las 11 de la mañana en nuestro programa Tickets for Two.
Solo por ADR Networks, activando tus sentidos.
That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show. We'll be seeing you. We'll be seeing you every Friday here at TFS. That foreign show. We'll be seeing you on that foreign show.
Hey guys, we're back at TFS. And thank you for staying with us.
On that foreign show.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Yo, musicians in the house, make some noise. We have Tatiana and Dayramir. Oh man, yo. Okay. Like he said, and I said before we started, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
All right, so who's gonna kick it off?
Tatiana, will start.
Yes. Okay. Tatiana. Okay, we met at a party, a musician's house, right? Musician's friend, right? And you were on the violin. She was on the violin the whole night. We were jamming, and she was just like, "Whoa!" So let's start with that. You know, like because when people see, like where I'm from, my country, and someone sees another person playing the violin, the first thing that comes to their mind is, "Oh, your parents forced you to study the violin." Right? That's the first thing. That's the first thing. Was it? Is it the same?
No, not at all. I
Okay.
wanted to play. I wanted to play violin, and
And actually, it's funny. He has a similar story.
Okay.
In his, in his childhood, it's parallel to mine, which is that at one point I kind of gave it up. I just said, I don't really feel like playing it anymore. And then I kind of hung it up. My mom put it away. She thought I wasn't going to play anymore. And then one day on TV, I saw, I think it was the Disney Youth Orchestra or something. And they were playing in Florida. Okay. And I just saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that could be me. I could be playing in an orchestra. That's so cool. And I could be doing that if I kept going. And then I just decided, Mom, I want to go to class today. Wow. If there's a class. And she's like, okay. She brought it down. I went to class and I continued with it, through college.
So what made you pick it up in the first place?
I saw my teacher, my first teacher, she did a presentation at my school. That's how she would recruit students. And so she did this presentation at my school with a whole bunch of string instruments, violin, viola, cello. And
trying to impress the kids so that they sign up for the class. Okay, I see.
So, yeah, I told my mom, hey, Mom, I want to try violin. I want to do it. And my mom has always been very supportive, and she's always encouraging me to try different things. If I want to try karate, if I want to try dance, if I want to try, art, anything, she's put me in everything. And I think I've had a lot of experiences in art, and I love it. And, she comes from she was born in the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union, they really supported that sort of artistic culture. She was going to, doing art, dance, music, all that stuff. And my mom actually did ballet when she was a little girl. So she kind of instilled that in me. And so I appreciate it a lot.
So is it just, you say in the Soviet Union they support music, but is it just classical kind of music or like just generally?
I would at that time, definitely just like classical music, definitely.
Okay. Wow. All right, cool. And you, sir? Same question. Like why? What made you become a music, pick up, even go to the piano?
At first, it was just like a natural way of having a piano home, being surrounding a lot of musicians at home. It was a very natural way of just playing around with an instrument that was always there, very accessible. It was always open. Always feel encouraged to hear music. My mom, also my dad, they always had a lot of child music on the radio, and they used to tell me that I used to pick up a lot of music with the index finger, trying to figure out the note. And they said that I had that special commitment that I wouldn't get off the piano until I get the whole song straight.
Yo, we got to pause right there. That's some Kobe Bryant kind of stuff. I'm not gonna leave the gym until I get 100 shots in. Same kind of thing, right? Because why did you do that? Is it to develop the discipline to finish something?
No. Remember, when you are 5 years old, you don't know nothing about any discipline. You know that you have a huge motivation to get something, but also I had the encouragement that every Sunday, my dad used to have family gatherings, musician gatherings at home. So singing, playing, just to gather, eating and stuff. So it was an encouragement for Tuesday, Wednesday, pick up a song, have it ready for Sunday to show it at my dad's party. Wow. So you are 5, you are 6, 7 years old, and it's a way that you see that everybody's playing the piano, and someone has something to say. You want to be part of that. So my way, unconsciously, my way to be part of that is just to pick something. And also, when I did it the first time, the second time it's less conscious. So no, it's now more conscious. Means now it's now more inclining. My dad was kind of why don't you prepare this for a Jacka song? Why don't you prepare this now? The song now? Why don't we do this in the piano and trumpet? So that was more organized, onto the point that you used to put me in the kitchen with a tuxedo, having the friends already there, and then introduce me and now for all of you guys, Dayramir Gonzalez. I mean, with 6, 7 years old coming and playing the song. 6, 7 years old all the way to today. You're still
yeah.
I mean, I had gone through different phases. In a way, music has been a very, very connected way for me to express emotions. Later on, I became very educated in music, having a strictly classical European classic conservatory training. And then, when you are 13, 14 years old, you realize that you're playing harmonies. But in some point, what I understood that I was playing just was mainly colors on the piano. I was sitting with 8 years old, and I can play like a minor triad, and I believe that I didn't know that was minor. I just believe that that has certain type of spirit in me. I was feeling with the minor side a little like nostalgic, and I felt that reaction on the audience. In that case, the audience was my family, friends. So if I play a major triad, if I play a different key, I can see the reaction on how people feel, and everything that I wanted is just to try to control those emotions, trying to control those skills in the piano to create those emotions on the audience.
Man, this sick, man. It feels like somehow just like that's like the best practice, like starting from like jams in a way, home jams, and like just kind of like forcing your way there to be noticed with the music, through the music, right? That's amazing.
Also, just to add to that, also, then my parents found any excuse to make me perform in front of the audience. So the museum, go to the park, your family, friends, party, the quinceañera party, just any excuse for me to be in front of the audience. Because, also when I started with 8 years old, I started in the elementary music conservatory. Okay. So December and June, you have to do 2 open to the public concert as part of the conservatory classical training that you have to do.
This is in Cuba.
In Cuba, So since we knew that every December and June you had to perform your Bach, your Barroco, your classicism type of piece in front of the audience. The majority of my friends, they were freaked out, frozen in the story. When you had to play, they were nervous. You can hear them a few days before killing the songs in a room privately. Then when you see them performing live, you see that they play at 70% of what they were able to do. Unfortunately, that's something that I have been developing as educator myself later on, is because teachers spend a lot of time organizing the technique, the sound, the sound. So let's not blame too much the teacher, just a little bit. I'm going to blame them a little bit, but not
just a little bit.
Why? Because we have 40 minutes with a student. Only in 40 minutes you have to focus in repertoire. You have a goal to prepare, a piece to prepare. But there's something that most of the teachers are not focusing more, which is preparing the students to be an artist, or to prepare the students how to express themselves outside of the instrument, how to actually cope with nervousism, how to prepare to be on the stage, how to actually go from a studied mood, which is you study with no shirt in your house, you practice your exercise, you take a break. Then when you go to the stage, you have to actually prepare what type of shoes are you going to wear on the stage. Because when you face it, you probably practice like this, in a shirt like this. But then when you have this,
it feels different.
It feels different. You have already now this action of doing this. This is, something
because it can be restricting.
Or you're tired.
You're like, I want to just take this thing off.
Or that day you put some makeup, or that day you put high heels. So it's some physical stuff that when you go to the stage, you shouldn't be thinking about that. So that could prevent the student you are, to.
Wow. We got getting some life lessons here, No, really. I mean, seriously, because it's like you go learn something, but then, yes, you've learned it, but then how do you perform it? How do you perform when it comes to real life situations? And I mean, like they're saying, the education system in the world, I guess it could move a bit more in that direction, right? Like teaching kids how to put themselves first, manage their emotions, manage how they are on stage, whatever feelings they have first, and making that as important as whatever you're doing, right? I mean, we can say that, right? As important as whatever.
At this point, we are talking about music. But at this, it's not really about music. It's about life experience. Tatiana and I, we are focused in giving our child, our kid, life experience to be able to perform. Perform is not only perform an instrument. Perform is also to say, I'm Dayramir Gonzalez Jr., or I'm Dalia, or I'm Rodrigo, and this is the math thing that I did. This is the little painting that I did. This is how I feel. This is how, why, creating boundaries. If someone is doing something, molesting you, about, pushing you around. So in order to perform, to be able to feel comfortable in expressing emotions,
right?
To music, to art, to dancing, but also to real life.
Yo. Exactly, man. Exactly. So many points. So many interesting things. I wanna go back to you for a second. You mentioned Russia.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, and I know because you told me you have a Filipino side as well.
Yeah, my dad is Filipino.
So I mean, to when I hear this is like a very interesting combination. It's a very interesting combination. Being from Singapore, we very familiar with the Filipino culture.
Sure.
You know, and Russians as well. A lot of Russians there, and I guess I wanna ask this question maybe to both of you also. Like you mentioned, you want to give all the tools, the best tools that you can to your children, everything that you can, right? So, do you feel this cultural thing that you guys have access to, and you with the Russian is a whole big thing, and Filipino is a whole another big thing, and then the Cuban thing is a whole universe.
Yeah.
This is like whoa, and giving. I don't know how do you guys approach this? Like, do you try to give everything to every one of your kids, or see, oh, this kid is more. I see the Russian in this kid, so let me just push the Russian more. How does it work?
I give them everything. I give them everything I can. If I can give them Russian, if I can give them English, I can give them Spanish. I give it to them. My kids know where their family's from. For me, traveling is a great way to, I think, educate children. I think it opens. For me, it shouldn't be a luxury. It's not like, oh, I'm on vacation, I'm enjoying this. I mean, it could be that, but there's so much to see, experience firsthand rather than read about it. You can go and experience it for yourself firsthand. You can go see. We just came back from Colombia. My kids really wanted to go after they saw the movie Encanto, the Disney. So we made a trip there, and he saw in Cartagena they have it's kind of like a fort.
Okay.
We call it La Muralla. And so I explained to my son, he saw it, and I explained to him what it was. This is what they used the Spaniards used it to defend, from the English or other invaders, whoever the invaders.
That's interesting. How old is your son at this point?
He's 6.
6, okay.
And he's actually the reason why we came to Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
just to add to that,
yeah.
we believe and we support what we call education 360.
Okay.
Education 360 means that I'm Cuban, but I'm Black Cuban. I also have Spanish Cuban, white Cubans in my family. Okay. Tatiana Filipino, Russian, but culture is food. Culture is also watching movies, listening. Culture is also music. Culture is exposure to be once a year, twice a year, going to Russia to meet not only with the family and cousins there, but also to talk to the people, connecting with the people, see how actually the culture works. So we understand that we create language islands at home. Our kids, they are trilinguals, Russian, Spanish, and English. Papa only speaks Spanish, no matter what. Okay. Mama speaks Russian and English. And, when you go to the babushka, the grandma in Los Angeles, she speaks Russian. The same. So, but it's not that we impose it. We just put it in a way that is 360. They don't know that they are getting fit for every corner because we watch Encanto in English, we watch Encanto in Russian, we watch Encanto in Spanish. And then we go to Colombia, or we go to Cuba, or we go to now Mexico, then we try to do the same in terms of food. Here in Mexico, we go to La Roma, we go to to this Russian restaurant there, try to talk to the Russian. In a way, it's like a 360 way to connect them with all the important points that make an individual surrounded with culture in general.
Yeah, their identity. Yeah. I mean, they can choose whoever they want to be in the future.
Yeah.
If they decide they want to be Chinese, I don't know, move to China and become Chinese. I mean, it's fine with me. But I'm going to show them what I think they should have now. And later they can decide who they want to be. You know, our children aren't. I have this belief that our children are not ours; they belong to the world. You know, one day they'll grow up. They will be their own people. They will have their own family. So there's no way for us to. We shouldn't, as parents. No parent should ever control their child and say, "You need to do it like this."
Right.
Even when you're 50 years old, you're going to be like this. You have to be like this. It's not right. It's not fair. And I think that's the problem with maybe our parents' generation. I don't know if you've had that experience, but I mean, that's definitely been my experience.
I would say yes. I would say hell yes. Hi, Mom. Okay, yeah. No, yeah,
but,
for real.
You know,
yes.
I've learned that, you know, before I had kids, I realized it for myself. I'm like, I want to feel like my own person, and I want to also give that to my kids. I don't want them to feel the way I felt when I was a kid. I want them to feel like they can be themselves, and that when they grow up, they will be themselves, because I don't own them. They're not mine.
Why do you think kids go through that kind of like, I want to be this, but I'm not? Is it because, like, you're talking about our parents' generation and stuff, the way things were done was like, okay, you have to do it like this.
Yes.
And then if you don't,
I don't love you.
Not so good, but try to be like this, right?
Exactly.
But when I hear you guys talk about your children and how the languages, and you mentioned islands, language islands, it's like you don't want that, right? You're trying to make it such that it's a natural thing for your children, where they are naturally Russian speaking at some point, sometimes
at every point, but it's natural in a way. You know, I would tell you, I have a lot of friends of mine, of us in New York, in Toronto, Canada, in Switzerland, many places in Italy, and you see that they speak just the language of the country where they live. And you have the mom or the dad is Cuban, or the dad is the excuse now. They both speak English to each other. So the little one now doesn't speak Spanish or do whatever, or they don't speak Spanish because the dad doesn't speak. He's Italian. He doesn't speak. In a way, I do not speak Russian. I understand. I can understand. The most basic thing of the daily thing. Be careful. It's hard. Get up. Please go do this. The actions that you hear every day.
When she's angry and she's scolding.
Of course, when she's angry in Russian, you know that she's angry. That's definitely true. But in a way, I understand the importance of languages. So even though I don't get, I try even to learn Russian, to immerse in the culture myself. I do watch movie in Russian, and I try to pick up as much as I can, but I'm there, sitting there supporting. The same with Tatiana. Tatiana learned Spanish with me, and she knows the importance of speaking Spanish and keeping them moving.
That's amazing, man. So it's like you have children, and you become also kind of children learning something.
Definitely.
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like almost like parents got a balance between being children, learning together, and also being the parent, right?
Yeah.
If they cross the line.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fall into this utopian kind of habit where I think that if I have kids, I'm going to be very nice. I'm not going to scold them.
Yeah.
I think that they will learn from me how to behave.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not true, right?
No, not at all. You think, oh no, I'm not going to be like my parents.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fair.
I'm going to be fair.
I'm going to, and
I'm not going to raise my voice.
Yeah. And, I'm not going to punch them, and
it's just happy times, right? That's what we want. That's what we all want.
We want happy times. And I think just I think what makes a good parent is that intention, at least you're not going to get it perfect as a parent. You're not, but at least having that intention to try and be a better parent, and being conscious of what you need to change to stop that cycle, because we learn from our parents how to treat our children. That's our reference. But because we're in this dynamic society that's connected by technology, and there's so much information at your fingertips, you can find out about anything. And I've learned so much just even before I had children. I was already kind of, because I didn't want to mess up. Right. I mean, I don't want to mess up with my kid. Right. Whenever I have my kid, I don't want to mess up. I want to know as much as I can now, so that when I, confront that situation, I'm somewhat prepared. And in many situations, I have been prepared. Right. Other times I wasn't. And when I wasn't, I went to look up how to manage it. I looked it up and I try to implement. I'm not perfect, but, little by little, I'm getting better.
What is your special method like? Do you do the kind of like a naughty step thing? Like if your kid is going out of control?
No, I don't punish them. It's a lot. No, it's a lot to say about it. Usually it's our reaction to our child. Our children in general, they don't have the capacity to regulate their emotions. And there are so many adults that also cannot regulate their emotions. It's because they never learned how to do it when they were kids. Yes. So they grew up to be unregulated adults.
Unregulated
adults, exactly. So I'm trying to, and I'm still going through it. So I'm trying to practice it myself.
Same here.
You know, my kids are showing me that I need to regulate myself. So I always have that in my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm reacting. My son is having a meltdown, but it has nothing to do with me. I didn't cause it. It's normal for him.
Okay.
And I need to find out, why is he feeling this way? Okay, he hit me. He said mean words to me.
Right.
But he doesn't mean it. He's just feeling badly about something. And it's my job to figure out what happened. It's not my job to yell at him, to go and punish him, because first of all, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make the situation better.
It doesn't work, right?
No, it's not the way.
But it's most people's first instinct, right?
It's
trying to control a situation.
But that comes from our upbringing as children, because we didn't know. We only knew how to react because our parents didn't show us how to respond, how to manage, how to self-regulate. So we take that out on our kids. So we react when our kid starts crying. We react, why are you crying? You need to stop. And I don't do that anymore. I don't do that. I don't think
crying is good.
It's fine. It's normal and
it's normal, exactly.
Not personal.
And the other thing is, like, we treat children differently than we treat adults. Like, for example, we say to a child, you need to eat your spinach and you need to finish that whole plate. Tell me, would you say that same thing? What if I said that to you?
That's a great point. Yeah.
If I said that, I'm sorry, can you
no, can you?
No, you need to, like, we're at the restaurant.
You need to speak into the mic properly, you know?
Right? Like, and I wouldn't do that to an adult. So our children are little people.
That's a very interesting point. And too bad Celestine is not here, because she's gonna agree with me on this point. We always talk about this. You know how when you see parents come in and it's, oh wow, so cute, qué lindo, you know. Dile buenas tardes, señor, you know, say good afternoon. Then we always look at each other, me and Celestine. Why are they talking like that to the kid?
Right.
Like, why? You're like, why the different tone? Why the why? You know, like, I mean, of course, there's the whole thing of like they are so cute and you feel cute.
Sure.
You know, that's fine. You know, but
it's understandable.
What do you guys think about that? Like, when a kid comes, like you're talking to me and your kid comes, and then most situations or most examples that we see, the parents change the way they talk. And what do you guys think about that? Like,
I mean, some parents, force their kids. This is like goes into consent, right? What we allow, and setting boundaries. Like, sometimes parents, people, grandparents, we force children, go give your auntie a hug. And the kid doesn't. The kid clearly doesn't want to do it.
Right.
What are you teaching your child by forcing your child to go do something that he doesn't want to do? You are telling your child that other people have power over you, and that.
Exactly.
And then when it comes to the point when they get older, they can't say no to somebody. For example, my son or my daughter, when she encounters perhaps another gentleman, she can't say no because I don't want to make him feel bad.
Right.
I shouldn't make him feel, because if I tell him no, I'm going to make him feel bad, and it's my fault. It's my responsibility. And this is something we should not be teaching our children.
We should not be, right? Yeah. Or even ourselves. We shouldn't be teaching ourselves. I mean, it's one thing. Of course, we should be polite and with everyone and be gracious. Gracious and respectful of everyone. Not just so that they will like you or whatever. It's just, it is. I don't know what you would say about why to be respectful, but we can take it for now that is a proper way to be respectful with everyone. Right?
I mean,
because some people say you have to be respectful because, like, for example, you're respecting the divinity that lives in each person's heart, which is the same divinity that lives in your heart. I mean, that's a very spiritual reason. But if you talk about cultural reasons, it's good to be polite also because it keeps things harmonious. It keeps the emotions flowing in a harmonious way. It keeps you away from the mind energy so much. It keeps you to be more present, obviously, right? Yeah. And for all these reasons, it's advisable to be pleasant with people. So, but we still got to balance being pleasant with people and being true to yourself.
I don't I don't mean to interrupt. I just feel like, you shouldn't also allow any disrespect towards you. This is also something that you can be polite, but if the other person is not reciprocating that, there's no reason to be fake. I don't know. That's me. That's me, but
wow, so interesting. So many topics to talk about. Guys, let us know what you think. Drop some comments. And I want to ask you, sir, this is a very, very interesting thing that hearing you talk about your musical journey. I remember reading this thing about Bob Marley and Jamaican musicians as a whole, culturally, right? It's kind of like, because of the way that the houses are built, they have a central courtyard, okay, where people hang out in the center of the house. And then you have your house and you have whatever. So all the musicians will be everywhere, lots of musicians. And the better you play, naturally, you will move closer and closer to the center inside the house where the real party is. And I think this sounds like your musical journey, right? Like you start in the kitchen learning to play, in trying to impress your family, and next week you're trying to do more, and I feel it's like a kind of like almost like a natural way to learn the music, like I mean, everybody can learn how. No, okay, let me rephrase. You take 5 people and they learn the guitar. You can't guarantee how they will end up, which one is going to be a maestro, or you can't even guarantee that if this person becomes a maestro, he makes a song that connects with people. It's different, no? It's completely different. You can be a high-skilled musician, but you don't make songs that connect with people. So this is a very gray line, right?
Yeah, I agree. I always have this in my perspective is that there's craftsmen and then there's artistry. So like what you just said, you can be a maestro and you can make something really good and it fits the parameters of what you would consider very, 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 very good. But if it doesn't, in the end, if it doesn't really connect with people, I don't know what does that mean.
What does that mean, right? What does that mean? And is it a superpower also, like
no, we need to go through different stages. You have the blend of being a conservatory alumni. You can be
learning the techniques and stuff.
But there's something that many people miss. I have it naturally because of the environment, because of the music school that I was in, where it was a elementary school where all this, you have 80 students, 80 kids that everybody speaking the same language, and it's a lot of competition. Everybody want to play, and you want to show off, and you want to impress your peers. So that gives you also this growth. Also had the opportunity to be also surrounding in a music environment, family music environment that was also very easy for me to grow. Every day being exposed supportive, everywhere exposed to music and supported to go into the music. Also because of the system that I grew up in, socialist system, it was very inexpensive to go to see ballet, to go to see the symphony orchestra every week, to see theater, and to see, to enroll into any painting, anything. Can
I interrupt you for 1 second? Okay, it's cheap, but was the demand also there? Were people really interested to take advantage of this?
Yeah, like any society, you have people that are, is there. The difference is here in New York, in Mexico, is there, but it's not accessible to everyone. It's there, but it's not accessible. Even if you are interested, you can afford it to go. You live in New York, Broadway is there. You may have a ton of family that would like to see a show once a year or once a week or twice a month, but it's not accessible. It's not accessible. So it's there, but it's not accessible. In Cuba was there and it was accessible. Like 5 pesos, Cuban pesos. They call it like money to go to see the symphony orchestra. And it's only 20.
That is amazing.
20 pesos, Mexican pesos. Very inaccessible. You go there, and for 100 pesos, you bring your whole family there to see.
Watch the
symphony orchestra. And then you go the next day, and it's the ballet. Tatiana and I, when we go to Havana, we see so many concerts. And then you grew up listening to, you have Chucho Valdés, you have Omar Portuondo, you have there Pablo Milanés, Silvio Rodriguez, the most famous of the famous worldwide, international, well-known musicians that you go to Mexico, you go to anywhere, and you have to pay tons of money to see them.
Right.
But in your hometown, it's there for 5 pesos or free.
That is amazing thing about the socialist.
Exactly. But no, I mean, yeah, exactly, definitely the system of socialism. But I'm talking about identity. You know, what if you have five kids that they all learn guitar at the same time, but not all do the exercise to understand the identity, what, who they are, what makes them different. So that comes with doing exercises that conscious exercises by your parents. Sometimes I believe that I had the three layers that make an individual successful to achieve something. I was able to have it. One is the immense desire to your own immense desire to accomplish something in your instrument.
Immense desire. Okay.
Immense desire. Why I say immense desire? Because it's a career, painting, art, anything that you do like this, computer science, but it's a very lonely journey because parents, they give you the violin, they give you the painting thing, but at the end of the day, you spend a lot of time on your own. And if you don't have that commitment, you need to have that fire, that internal immense desire to succeed. That comes that he cultivated with the kid. Dayramir Jr. and Dalia Dayramir had that immense desire to finish a task. This is one of his gifts. Okay. He's focused in finishing a 500-piece in a week puzzle, 500-piece puzzle in a week. He doesn't finish it, so he had that immense desire to accomplish that task. We, the parents, we buy the puzzle. We, the parents, we take him to the puzzle. How you call it in Los Angeles? There is this puzzle place that the Lego land.
Lego land.
Says, but I'm saying like we then support that. But at the end of the day, you cannot force him to sit and do it. What I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a self-decision, but you can see that in the kid from the early age. So one is that the immense desire to succeed in whatever you do, because it is a lonely kind of thing, journey. Two is to have the family values, the family that support that environment, cultivate that environment with the resources to do it.
Right.
And the third one in this case, is having the opportunity to present that gift.
Okay.
Present it. Present it means you can have it, but you stay at home. You don't have any place to present it, to show it, right? So that comes with the combat to what I call identity. The identity is that many kids around the world, because of the parenting, they don't have that understanding of who they are, what makes them different. Means if you play, we, the three of us, we are jazz musicians, but your type of jazz, because of where you grew up, is different from Cuban jazz, from American jazz.
Right.
So when we see the three of us, we are three individuals, but if we don't do the exercise to understand what makes Cuban music different from your music, from Colombian music, then you don't. So you need to understand the folkloric music, the folkloric instruments,
right,
what is surrounding the culture.
Okay.
Then when you embrace the instrument that you play, you are now a Colombian jazz player that sounds different from a Cuban jazz player, an American jazz player. Right. So that's exercise, that's identity exercise that had to be cultivated from an early age. So you get to a point that now is you, it's part of your identity, part of you.
Man, wow. Interesting points there. Yeah, the fire, the family support, and then eventually the platform to showcase your art, right? And speaking of platforms, tell us a bit about the people here. Being a foreigner, here in this city, what is it like for you guys, especially being musicians, and on top of that, having a family, and and navigating those things? Like I'm sure, of course, you guys you've traveled around the world. But of course, Mexico is different from the countries that you mentioned, and Mexico's got its own kind of flavor. And being foreigners, we know what that's about. So
I will start with something, and then Tatiana we continue. Even in the U.S., I'm Cuban.
Right.
I was living in the U.S., so I was already foreigner in the U.S. Tatiana is American, but she's from Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
We were living in New York City, so we are foreigner in New York. New York itself, even if within the United States, is a
Right.
it's
It's
a
full of
country. It's a
foreigners.
country. No, it's a country of itself.
It's
you know.
its own.
It's its own element that
Yeah.
you have to conquer.
Right.
Very hard to conquer.
Right.
So you feel even you are American, you feel an strange in your
yeah,
own.
foreign-
New Yorkers are like, I'm a New Yorker. You know, they're
Right.
very territorial. Like,
Right.
So spending years in New York gave us, certain skills that at least is helping us out to manage certain things here when we go to Mexico. Mexico City, it's first of all, we came here because of the opportunity to understand that Mexico is like, we call it like the New York of Latin America. It's a place where in the 1950s, you really wanted to succeed in your music, in your art, and conquer Latin America, you have to come to Mexico City.
Oh wow, yeah.
In the Cuban side, Benny Moré, Ernesto Lecuona, Rita Montaner, so many artists were, Bola de Nieve. They came to Mexico City and they actually explode their career here. So having that, it was already okay. We are not going to unknown place. It's Mexico City. It's a city already on there. Also, we have been checking around as well that as cultural wise, it's also very strong. Has a lot of it's very. It's strong cultural wise in terms of the whole Mexican
their identity. They are proud of their Mexican identity, heritage. Yeah.
And I would say just real quick before Tatiana take it away, that is that one of the things that I have liked about Mexico at least is it's like I would say that they have created a society for Mexicans.
Okay.
95% of workers here are Mexicans.
Right.
You go to IKEA and you have Mexicans working here. You go to the theater and you have Mexicans working in the theater, and the painter and the one, So I'm saying like it's not a country made for foreign. It's made for Mexicans.
Okay.
So in a way that is a good thing that all the capitalism thing that are working here in favor of its people.
More or less. I mean, we
can debate on that, how accessible is to many things, but but at least
I agree with that. Yeah, because Mexico does have the spirit of like kind of like a realness, like that kind of comes from here. Like I mean, it has its problems, but like what you said, there's a kind of the people have a kind of a spirit, a kind of a spirit.
Every country has problems. Every country has problem. You can say that. Anywhere you go to. You are in Mexico and there is a lot of Mexicans that I would say, oh, the United States. Let's not get there. Wait, Tatiana is the maestra of ripping apart the United States of the stuff that let's not get there. But I'm saying like but you come and you create a bubble. You need to create your own bubble where you go. Bubble, cultural, economical, social bubble, and that bubble you decide who are the people you want to surround yourself with. What is the area you want to live. So there is areas that you shouldn't go. Why would you go to areas that you shouldn't go? You stay in your bubble. In that bubble, you create your own thing. There is a country with a lot of possibilities. The thing that bothers you, that bothers us, which is sometimes with the people, the connection with the people, sometimes with the Mexican as the people.
It's even because like the thing is, even though it's a Latin American country, it's very different from like let's say Cuba or Colombia. It's like so different.
Let's get into that. Okay, guys, look, I love talking to y'all. The time has just flown by. We only have a few minutes left actually. So continue your point, and maybe you guys can give 1 point for the viewers, some advice as a foreigner here in Mexico. What?
I think you need to be clear on why you're here.
Okay.
I mean, like we didn't really touch on it, but we came here because of our son. He was attending he's attending a program for gifted children.
Oh wow. Is it music related or?
No, it's
okay.
Skills.
It's the cognitive ability. I mean,
that's amazing. Cool.
But that's what brought us here. And so, even though when I got here, I did have a hard time adjusting. It was a bit different, but because I was so convinced on why I was here, I found a way to make it work. It wasn't really easy, also because he was traveling a lot for music. He was on tour. So he wasn't, and I was here by myself. Imagine a foreign woman, mother with 2 children, and it was a very different. I don't want to go into the negatives. I mean, I found the positives.
Right.
I said, okay, this is a really bad thing, but okay, here are the good things. I have my kids here. We're in a great neighborhood. He's going to one of the best schools that he could go to, and you know, we're eating. We wake up. We're safe, and
life is good.
You make it work. Yeah, you know, being appreciative, like, being grateful for certain things helps you to mitigate the things that bother you.
Being grateful for what you have, and also being clear about what you are doing in Mexico. If you're not sure, be clear that you're not sure. Just be clear that you're not sure. I'm not sure. I'm kind of going with the flow. If that's your thing, do that. That would be the advice, right?
If you're not clear, if you're like, I'm going because I want to find out something, I think that's good too. I think that's good too.
All right, we're done. And it was amazing having you guys on the show. Thank you. And I was gonna say, maybe at some point we can do this again and talk some more. You know,
would love to.
And maybe bring your son.
He's a good talker.
He's a good talker. Okay, that's what we need here.
He's a good talker.
and given that he's in the gifted program, I think we can set him up over there, give him a microphone. And
you know, give him his own mic.
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, none of us will get to talk.
Oh, okay. He'll take over the show.
I will see you in my concerts. You know, I have a concert on the 14th and the 19th here in Mexico City. You see, there we are on tour. So the audience.
Okay, very very quickly, can you tell us what the people can expect at your concert?
You know, Afro-Cuban jazz, the Art of Cuban Piano World Tour. We are right now presenting this project. You know, the Art of Cuban Piano. It's like the corner.
That sounds serious, man. The Art of Cuban Piano. I like that.
The Art of Cuban Piano. So it's Afro-Cubanness with classical European music, with American jazz, with a smile that all the time, you know, and someone who's gonna be connecting with you. You'll never fall asleep. It's like
all right. Thank you very much, guys. Make some noise for them. Yes, wherever you're at. Thank you for joining us here today. TFS, That Foreign Show on ADR Networks, activating your senses. Yeah.
Thank you to all who joined us here on That Foreign Show. It's been awesome. I'm Celestine Angel.
And I'm Isaac Crouch, and we'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Entrando por tus oídos hasta llegar al centro de tus emociones, ADR Networks está en este momento
activando tus sentidos. That's foreign.